Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And here we go, the New York Knicks. They pulled out one that was tighter than I thought it was going to be, at least based on that first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. But they pulled it out nonetheless. Julius Randle, what he had, 43 points tonight, 44 points tonight. He was not going to be denied, ladies and gentlemen. Great game from Julius Randle. If anything, he got the Hawks head coach's vote to be an all-star. If anything, he got that vote to be an all-star tonight. You know what I mean? Julius Randle, go vote right now, ladies and gentlemen. Go vote for Julius Randle to be an all-star. The New York Knicks defeated the Atlanta Hawks 123 to 112. The Hawks were led by Trae Young with 23 points, 8 assists. Followed by John Collins. He had 19 points, 4 rebounds. Cam Reddish, he had 16 points and 6 rebounds tonight. Clint Capella, he had 15 points and 18 rebounds. And I was getting frustrated a little bit every once in a while because I'm like, yo, we got to stop this guy from grabbing every single rebound. But hey, what are you going to do? That's Clint Capella. That's what he does. Grabs rebounds. And Skylar Mays, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Skylar Mays, but Skylar Mays, he was killing us. He hit some shots, some key shots that, you know, would just have me frustrated. Like, why are we getting beat by Skylar Mays? I don't know who Skylar Mays is. But the New York Knicks defeated the Atlanta Hawks. Let's get over here to the panel. Before we even look at the Knicks box score, let's get over here to the panel and talk. Yes, how are you guys feeling? Before I even look at the box score, I just want to get you guys' initial reactions. How you feeling? Divine, I want to start with you, man. Talk to me.
Six in the Eastern Conference, brother. That's all I'm trying to tell you. 500 ball and Knicks is legit. Period. Pass the mic. Knicks is legit. I tried to tell y'all, these boys is real. They
Go
real.
ahead, Josh.
Real.
Listen, Julius Randle had an MVP-like performance tonight. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He had an MVP-like performance, man. Yeah. And you know, how long has it been since we've seen somebody, you know, be an all-star or play at an all-star level and have these type of performances? And still, even when he's having these type of performances, he took a couple of heat check shots, but, you know, he didn't force and do anything crazy. He still played within the game and within the system. You know, it's been a long time since we've seen a guy like that. So all these people that say trade Randle tomorrow while he's at the top of his game, kick rocks. Anyway, go ahead, Steph.
Forget about it.
Hey, that's my line.
Forget about it.
Listen, I'm the same thing Josh and Divine said. Randle is legit. Listen, let's not underestimate what it takes to be a good player in this league and what it takes to be consistent in this league. It's not easy. And he's been there for us every single game. A bad game would just be, you know, he's not as efficient. Maybe, you know, but he always gets the numbers for us. So he's legit. He's an all-star. I think we need to lock him up now. Don't even wait till the end of the season. If he could give us a little discount, fine. If not, you know, hey. Yeah.
Well, you know, they have one more year, so they can get him.
Oh, they do.
They can get him. They have a team option where they can get him for $19 million next season, and then at the, you know, sometime next season they can decide to extend them. So, you know, that's very.
What if he take 22? Like, what if he say, you know what, I might get injured. You know, if you give me 22, 23 now for 4 years, you wouldn't do it?
I would.
You wouldn't offer it to him?
I probably would. Yeah, I probably would.
If I get a couple meal discount, a discount, I love Walmart.
Yeah. Tony?
Yes, sir. So I know everybody's going to talk about Randle, so I'm going to say RJ came up in the clutch.
He came up in the clutch.
Came in and shot an air ball, and guess what? Didn't phase him. Came back and hit 2 big threes.
Yeah.
So I know you like that, Josh. That's what we asking for.
I love it. I love it.
And I just want to point out, even though Capella did his thing on the boards, I think we broke even at 42 apiece as a team. So
okay,
you know, we
can't beat it.
Those are good stats right there.
It was,
Yeah, for sure.
it was basically even. It was 50-48, basically even. Maybe they got like a couple extra rebounds at the end or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, it's basically even. Cornerstone.
What can I say, man? I'm gonna have this grin like the Joker for the whole night. My wife don't wake me up. I'm still have the same grin, man. While everybody is praising Randle, and he deserves all the praise tonight, I'm gonna go New Orleans Noel. Because the defensive intensity that he did tonight cannot be overlooked.
It sure can.
Cannot be overlooked.
He had some key blocks. Blocks. 2 in a row in moments where the game was really in the balance and Atlanta could have, tried to take control or take the lead or whatever. He had some key blocks that sent it the other way and, kept the game in the Knicks' hands. And that was huge. Huge.
Hey, he had blocks with 5 fouls. Say that.
Exactly.
And played down the stretch with 5 fouls. I don't believe Gibson came back in.
And hit a jump shot.
So,
hit a jump shot.
Yeah, RJ set him up nice right at the free throw line.
Yes. And the icing on the cake was Quickley, giving him an alley. No, I'm sorry. Well, he did give him an alley, but the one that RJ did to him, and he like dunked it on one hand and everything.
Exclamation when he missed that shot. He got it back.
I think that was a putback. It was a putback where he dunked it with one hand, a putback. Yeah.
Hey, no, man. He made his presence known, man. And I just loved what he did tonight, man. And of course, RJ bounced back. All these guys talking about, I love when fans, just want to get rid of players. I just love it, because then they show out, RJ had a really, good game tonight. And I wouldn't be surprised with the lineup that was, that closed the game. You had Quickley, you had Rose, you had RJ, you had Randle, and then whoever you want to throw in that center spot, when Mitch comes back. I think that's going to be your closing.
I liked that lineup was up.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. And it's also amazing how Rose and Quickley work so great together, man. That's going to be no words, no words. Pass it to the Prince.
Go ahead, Prince.
You know what I'm saying, man? I hate to say it, but Cornerstone took my little shine because I sure was gonna give the Royals his props. But hey, and but again, like everybody on the panel said, I am elated. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this was a statement win. To be honest, if I'm not mistaken, it's our first 3-game win streak of the year.
No, it's our second or third.
Okay.
Yeah, it's our second or third. We haven't won over 3 games in a row. But,
okay.
Yeah.
But still, hey, we ain't. How often did we say that last year or the year before that? So regardless of what I'm saying, what's going on, I'm trusting Tom Thibodeau. I really am, because again, you really see his pedigree, his just what he really. It exudes as a coach. Honestly, I'm respecting the vets out there. I mean, you see in consistent minutes. Like I said, Noel's coming up tonight. That was great for us. We needed that. Like you said, Sim, he altered a couple of down the stretch. If they would have made those layups, it's a different ball game. So him coming up big, and then I cannot. Let the night get outshadowed by, the king of New York. And I don't know if y'all know, but Julius got a tattoo of Biggie on his left shoulder. If y'all ever check him out at the free throw line, he got a tattoo of Biggie on the shoulder. And I thought that was cold. And I'm like, for Julius, so again, he always said when he first got here that he always thought he wanted to be in New York. He would have loved to play here. So for Julius to, show up tonight, drop 44, on the head tonight, Hey man, this is a statement win for us Knicks.
Yep.
I think we really about to go on this stretch to finish it out. Tom Thibodeau about to win Coach of the Year. You know, like Sim always say about us Knicks. When we win, we don't ever think we ever gonna lose. And when we lose, we don't ever think we gonna win. But hey, with that being said, pound that like button, man. Like I said,
Get it up. Get it up.
We almost
No
600
doubt.
people in the chat tonight.
Smash
100
it.
likes. Come on, man. You know, like I
Yeah.
said, respect the Podfather. Give him his respect. You know what I'm saying? We out here and we're going to have a great show for y'all tonight. But, hey, Knicks pulled it out, and this was a great win. I love it.
The Knicks move up to the 6th seed. They're now the 6th seed at 14 and 15. Looking at the box score for tonight, Reggie Bullock, he had 8 points. But let's start with Julius Randle. He led the team with 44 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 14 for 22 from the field, 7 for 13 from the three-point line for 53.8%. He was 9 for 12 from the free throw line. And he made big shots when we needed them.
Right.
When we were down 7 in the third quarter and it looked like this thing could turn ugly, they could extend this lead to 14 because we just had nothing going. He hit a 3. Then he hit another 3. Then he'd get fouled and go to the free throw line. You know, when we needed him to hit these shots, he was there knocking them out. And that was huge in keeping the Knicks just in the game until some other people, you know, started to heat back up. RJ started to score again. Stuff like that, you know. So he did exactly what we needed in keeping the Knicks in the game. So that was just huge. RJ Barrett had 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. He was 8 for 14 from the field. He shot 3 for 3 from the three-point line. He only went to the line 3 times. He was 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Alfred Payton had 12 points, and somewhere in that second quarter, when Atlanta was going on a run, you know, he kept them at bay with some, nice drives to the basket, some big offensive rebounds. He had 7 rebounds tonight. Alec Burks had 4 points. Derrick Rose had 8 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Taj Gibson, you know, he gave us 16 minutes. He gave us 16 minutes. What did he give us? No points, 3 rebounds. Or maybe 1 point, 1.3 rebounds. And Emmanuel Quickley gave us 16 points for tonight. He gave us 16 points and 5 assists. He also hit some key shots, you know, during that game. And when Atlanta were, you know, they were going on some runs and we weren't scoring, or they was trying to, you know, we were up 1. You know, we needed a big shot to go up 4. You know, a couple of times Emmanuel Quickley hit those shots to put us up 4. So everybody really contributed in the way that they're able to contribute. You know, to get the win tonight. Everybody contributed. They played their roles and they played their part, and they did it well tonight. In a game that, you know, the Knicks were up 14 in the first half, and Atlanta came back off of some, you know, terrible calls for Trae Young. I want to talk about that a little bit because, you know, the NBA has to do something about some of these calls that these guards get. You know what I mean? Like Trae Young, those fouls that he was getting in the second quarter, you know, like consecutively, like bang, 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 bang. You know, it's frustrating, and it's like half of them weren't real foul calls. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at Trae Young. He's just doing what he's supposed to do. But somehow the NBA has to look at some of these things and figure it out, because some of those calls were just ridiculous. I don't know how he's able to get it done and get those calls for him, but you know, he went to the line 10 times in the first half, and the Knicks went to the line 12 times in the first half. You know what I'm saying? You know, at some point when you start to look at the foul differential, if you're a referee, you got to say, you know what, this is probably not, something's not right here. You know what I mean? And those calls are just frustrating. I don't know what the NBA can or will do, but something has to be done. I mean, what do you think about it, Divine? Or do you not care? I mean, because Emmanuel Quickley does the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets some of those calls.
You know what? I mean, you know what? I ain't gonna say I don't care because I'll be false advocating. But you know what? He do get away with a lot of stuff. But I don't want to get too excited because he did it on the Knicks. You know what I mean? I'm quite sure he, I think a lot of them players, James Harden, him. I just think he getting a little bit more frequent because he's a little bit more, how you would say, savvy with the ball. He's shifty. He get it off. I mean, but it is a problem. I think throughout, not only Trae Young, I think throughout the NBA period. You know what I mean? He just one who's getting away with it more than less. But I'm not too crazy about it because I mean, he's been doing it since he's been in the NBA, and if they ain't gonna recognize it now, I don't know what to say about that because he's just getting away with it, man. I think it's a stupid move to keep getting everybody to foul him when they barely not even touching them. But it's definitely bad though, to me for the NBA period.
Right.
Yeah, I think it is too for the NBA just period. Like, some of these calls that players get, it's becoming too ticky-tacky. Sometimes it's just, and of course players know how to take advantage of it, but go ahead, Tony.
My thinking is I'm only upset when it's not consistent on both sides. Quickley seems to get the call most of the times. I think they missed one the second time he did that pull up. I think he got fouled. There was a no call. But as long as it's consistent, I don't have a problem with it. It's just when it's one-sided, and obviously, we're biased as Knicks fans, so we might see things that aren't there sometimes, or just focusing on when they miss every call, and not worried about missed calls on the other end. But if it's consistent, I have no problem with it. I did want to point out Derrick Rose played some great defense on Young down the stretch.
He did.
He had two big blocks. One of them was, one of those competitive plays like you're not going to get this one. You know what I mean? Like you could see he was determined whether they call a foul or not. I'm throwing this out of bounds.
Right.
So shout out to Rose. This is the best defense I've seen him play. I would say for his career.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. And what I was thinking during the game is when Rose started to make some of those plays on Trae Young, it shows you the savvy of a veteran who's been in the league for a while that can start to think the defensive game and start to say, okay, what am I going to be able to do to stop this guy? And you start seeing him when he's going up to get that floater, him coming underneath and popping the ball almost like that mellow block, popping the ball up. You know what I'm saying? And that's when like he's thinking about the defensive side on how can I adjust to stop this guy? Everybody doesn't do that. They figure, okay, I can play this guy straight up. I got to go harder, or I got to go this, and not think about little things, little angles you can take, and little things you can do to stop this guy, or make this guy switch or shift this way or that way. And I think Derrick Rose did a great job tonight, making some adjustments on Trae Young in that second half. And he got less foul calls in that second half, too. I think they probably realized, like, this is, the referees probably realized this is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, great job. Great job. Big shout out to Demo B. You said, respect Randle. I was wrong. Yep, you were wrong, Demo B. I don't know what you said, but if you said trade him or get rid of him, you was wrong. That man is an all-star, and in 2 years, he might be one of our max players. I'm going to let Tibbs lead and watch. There you go. That's what I'm saying. Appreciate it. Go ahead, Josh.
So I also want to add, we talk about good defense, or at least solid defense on the opposing guard. How about Alfred Payton? Let's give Alfred Payton some.
Yeah, he was good too.
Getting destroyed, and everyone is talking about what he's not doing. But what he is doing is making it very hard for opposing point guards. Look what he did with John Wall. I know John Wall was able to score some points, but he was frustrating them. And today, you see Alfred Payton was getting in Trae Young's bag a little bit. Alfred Payton got a technical because he was upset and everyone knew that, Alfred Payton was holding down Trae Young. And then the next play, he forced a turnover on Trae Young. So give Alfred Payton some credit where credit is due, because he does not get enough credit, and Knicks throw.
Yeah, he could have closed that game too. I thought he played well too.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, he could have, because he did play well. Well.
The only two guys that, real quick, that I'm down on is Bullock and Burks. Those were the only two that had subpar games.
Bullock was okay.
Well, I mean,
but Bullock just doing what he always do, play defense and miss shots. I mean, that's.
And then when he starts making shots, he makes shots. He's very streaky.
Right.
I mean, he did shoot 40% from 3 tonight. He was 2 for 5. That's 40%. 2 for 5 is 40%.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Wow, that's it just seems like he's missing all the time.
It does seem like he's missing all the time, because I guess because he gets so wide open shots. You expect, come on, you wide open, nobody's around you. You're supposed to make that. That's your job. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Yeah, I don't agree with Trae Young's game at all. I think at the end of the day, it just slows down the flow and hurts the NBA, and it's really what's hurting the viewers at the end of the day, because he just embellishes every call. Everybody wants to say that's a European influence, but if you watch any Euro basketball, they're not going to call the game that way. They're going to be acting the way he does. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of time for us to see as well. And nobody likes to see the game get out of the flow. I mean, he shot, 6 of 20 from the field and 10 of 12 from the line. Right. But half of those calls shouldn't have even been made. I think it's ridiculous at the end of the day. It's a bad brand of basketball. I know we got a guy who sometimes does some of that, but he doesn't handle the ball nearly as much as Young, so it doesn't really take the Knicks out of their flow, in my opinion. I think it kind of handcuffs the Hawks a little bit. But, just in regards to the Knicks, I don't think you could do anything in regards to touching Julius Randle or R.J. Barrett. Those boys better be off limits. They should never be included in a trade for Bradley Beal. I respect Bradley Beal's game. He's an excellent scorer, but if you really lifting you over a 4 or 5 seed in the future, I know they won the 50-some more games a couple of years back down there, but I don't think he's the kind of guy who would take to that next level or championship contender. I think you stick with a guy like Randle, feels that I think Barrett's going to continue working on his game, and he's going to continue working on his shot. He's going to be an excellent player moving forward. I don't think you touch those guys to go get a volume shooter at the end of the day who's not going to win you a game.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate the call. You were breaking up a little bit, my man. Your line was breaking up. But I do agree. I do think it slows down the game when there's so many foul calls like that on one guy every time he touches the ball. But not much we can do. Go ahead, Josh.
I need to respond to that. Emmanuel Quickley literally does the same thing. He literally does the same thing. Force fouls, force the referees to call fouls. I'm not saying Emmanuel Quickley flops. He definitely doesn't do that. But that's Quickley's game. Try to force fouls and get to the free throw line. So if we're going to talk about Trae Young doing it, we should talk about Emmanuel Quickley doing the same thing. Additionally, the NBA has been catering to offense ever since Jordan left. That's what the NBA has been doing. It's nothing new. You know what I mean? I get people are kind of frustrated with it, but that's just the way the NBA is, and star players are going to get their calls.
My issue is
let it be an actual foul, though.
Right.
I agree with you. I'm just saying it's fair across the board. It's not just
my issue is not with Trae Young at all. Right. Your job is to take advantage of whatever the referees are going to let you get away with. So my issue is not with Trae Young. My issue is with the NBA looking at some of these calls and starting to say to the referees that they need to, clean it up a little bit, because, and I know it's a fine line that you got to tell the referees don't have an easy job. Right, because then as soon as you're not calling these fouls, then the defensive players begin to take advantage of it, right, and play a little bit more physical and bump a little bit more. So it's definitely a fine line. It just gets it gets frustrating when you see multiple plays where the guy hasn't even been touched, and then the foul is called. And I'm gonna tell you one thing with Emmanuel Quickley, right? About 3 times tonight, I seen him go past his defender and then stop when he had a wide open lane so that he can try to draw that contact instead of going into the lane. Right. One time he came off the screen, he was past Trae Young, and he stopped, and Trae Young had to catch up to him in order to feel the contact. Now, some of it I think is he uses that contact not just for the foul, but he uses that contact to get into the rhythm of his floater too. Right? If you notice, he holds the guy off, and then when he can feel it, and then he floats it up there. But, you know, it happened about 3 times tonight where, you know, he got past his man off the screen, and then he stopped his own momentum so that he can feel for the contact of the defender coming behind him. Right. You know, and that's, you know, that's what I said. And I know he's young, and I don't want to complain on him and anything like that. But, you know, he's got to learn to go all the way to the basket to get that pull-up in. Because soon it goes, you know, it's not always going to be this, you know, pretty soon people are going to figure out what he does and start to scheme for it and stuff like that. But, you know, anyway, he hit some big shots tonight anyway. But go ahead, Caller, you're live.
Yeah. Hey, Stim, what's up, man? It's the Afro Jedi, man, with the red eye.
What's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
I'm great, man. I'm great. I just want to say this is the game I was waiting for from Julius. Because everybody was screaming, trade Julius, trade Julius, trade Julius. Boy came in, man. He did what he's supposed to do, put the Knicks on his back like he usually do. And again, man, D Rose, man. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with trading for him, but the way he's leading the team, you see him in the huddles. He's calling all the guys together. I remember, I think it was we were at 102, 104, something like that. And then D Rose came and could bring everybody together. He was like, yo, look, man, we got this. Y'all just need to hold on to this. And then just the leadership between him and Juju, man, I love it, man.
Yeah, no doubt. And at the end of the game, when Julius Randle was giving his, you know, little end of the game talk there with Rebecca Harlow, you see all the players come over, you know, and say, you got to be an all-star, this and that. And you can see with Julius, too, he's a humble dude. He's like, I
had to go grab my Moscato real quick. You know, I had to pop a bottle open for this.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Right. Yeah, you can go on Twitter and see it. And then, you know, Julius Randle is, you know, I just want to go home, man. You know, whatever he was saying. You know, playing a humble role. But
look, man, we need to. I think y'all said we got a team option on him after this year, right?
Yeah.
We need to hurry up and pick that up, man. Hopefully he give us a hometown discount when we want to come and extend it. But let me get up out of here. I'm enjoying the show. Hey, Julio and Legion, man, I need to see y'all on a debate, man. Y'all beef is hilarious, man.
yeah, they beef is crazy. I know. Appreciate you, man.
I'm going to check y'all out later, man. I'm still here, yo. Go Knicks, baby. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Sir.
Get it. Yeah, big shout out to City for Real. Thank you for the super chat. He said the refs tried to take this one from us. The Elf of Wall Street made some big buckets tonight. Shout out to Noel and Rose on the defense, and big time to RJ for dropping threes. Yeah, big time. He did. He hit some big clutch threes coming down the stretch of that game, man. And you know, there were threes that we definitely needed. And hopefully this is gonna, you know, help him get back to, you know, what he was doing before he hit this little 4-game slump that he hit. Because we're going to need him, you know, for some big games. We're going to need him for his rebounding, you know, over the next few games. RJ had 6 rebounds tonight. The guards helped out. Alfred Payton had 7 rebounds tonight. Alec Burks 4 rebounds tonight, right? We need those guys to hit the boards with Mitch out, you know, because there might be some nights when Noel gets 9, 10 rebounds, but a lot of times he's going to be around 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5 rebounds like he was tonight. He had 4 rebounds tonight. You know, so we definitely need our guards to hit the boards. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Sam, real quick, with regard to Mitch, now I heard on the report that they're going tomorrow to get a second opinion. What is the second opinion, you know, going to do? They're going to tell him to
avoid the surgery. He's trying to avoid the surgery. That's what
he's trying to avoid the surgery.
Mm-hmm. That's why he get a second opinion. He might not really need it. It might get healed naturally.
Right.
But is that coming from Knicks from Knicks medical staff or?
It's probably him literally trying to avoid the surgery. If you've never been under the knife, some people, you know, that's a scary thing. And if you know, I'm not saying it'll take longer or not, but you know what I mean? If you could avoid the surgery, that may just be the route that he prefers.
Right.
Okay.
And,
so
you know, most likely what happened is the Knicks gave it their diagnosis and said, here's what we suggest and recommend to get you back as fast as possible, if that's what you want to do. And his team of people is like, no, let's go to this doctor and have this doctor give you another opinion. So, you know, if that's the case, so, you know, they'll look at it again, and or maybe, or who knows, or it could be the same. I didn't hear everything that was in the broadcast, so I don't know. You know, maybe it's still the Knicks doctors, and they seen something else that's in an X-ray or seen something else, and they're like, we need to look at this again to make another diagnosis or something like that.
Kev, this is regular. Athletes do this all the time. This is not something where Mitch is defying the Knicks staff or anything like that. This is normal. Athletes do this all the time.
Yeah, you know.
I guess if they do it all the time, then that means that they're putting some doubt into the franchise's medical staff. That, you know.
No, like Sim said, the medical staff could have wanted a second opinion.
Yeah, it could have been the medical staff. You know, they could have seen something else and just want to look at it again. But think about it. If it were me, right? Yeah. And a team is paying me to do something, and they say, well, if you do this, we can get you back as quick as possible. I might want to go take a second look with somebody else too, just because the team, and I'm not saying the Knicks are doing this, but you just want to safeguard to make sure that the team is not trying to push you back out there against, you know, better health precautions. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't think that they would do that. You know, I don't think that they'd do that at all. So I don't think it's anything besides everybody inclusively trying to make sure that they got the best solution for him to heal. You know what I'm saying?
I think everybody go through that too. Even non-basketball players, even people like us, they go get a second opinion just to be safe. I mean, you know, the average American do that. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's no type of scandal. And I just think, like, you know what? Because believe it or not, if it can heal in the same amount of time, it might be one of the things where it's fractured, but it's not totally broken. Yeah, and with a little bit of cast and a little bit of this, he might can get back faster to avoid surgery. And then I guess he's thinking about his career too. You know what I mean? He got to make sure that this.
Yeah, and also, you know, let's be real. Mitch, compared to other players in the NBA, relatively speaking, is not making as much money, right? So that $1.7 million, half of that money goes to taxes. No lie, because he has to pay New York taxes already. But then every city that he goes to, he has to pay taxes in that city, right? So half of that money, literally half of that money is gone, right? So now you're talking about, you know, $800,000, then you got federal taxes and this and that. So he might have said, well, how much is the surgery? And he's got to pay his agent, this and that. He said, how much is the surgery? And they're like, it's $100K. And he's like, hold on, wait a minute. I think I need a second opinion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for real. I'm just saying. Let's be real about it. You know, so.
Well, I thought that the team would pay for that. I thought the team would pay for the surgery.
If the Knicks do it.
Yeah, probably if the Knicks do it or something, who knows, you know, but still, you know, if he has to pay anything, he's probably like, wait a minute, you know, I'm not making, for the Knicks, Julius Randle makes the most. I'm not making Julius Randle money. I'm not making RJ Barrett money. You know what I'm saying? I'm making Iggy Brasdeikis money. What's up? You know, so you never know.
Check it out. 14 rebounds and 10 points and one half for $1 million. God, oh my goodness. That's crazy.
You know?
14 rebounds and 10 points and one half for $1.5 million.
And people talking about, I don't want to pay him.
You crazy. God.
Pay that man.
Yeah. And Sir Toon said the operation can be a write-off. Yes, it can be a write-off. You're right about that because, you know, you yourself, your body, you know, you're a business. So it can be a write-off. But still, you still might be looking at it like, yo, what's going on? You know, who knows how it works?
Said,
you know,
Afro DJ Eddie said they're going to England to talk to Andy and Andy's
people,
surgery, laser surgery.
Right. Yeah, no doubt about it. Randle's been on a tear, right? Do you think Randle is going to continue this tear that he's on over the next few games leading up to the All-Star break And we know he's not going to be voted in by the fans and who in the media as a starter. All right, we get that. You know, he's not, you know, as popular as a lot of people. So that's not going to happen. All right, and I understand that. Is he going to get voted in by the coaches?
He should.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I mean, coaches respect Tom Thibodeau, and I think that's going you know, give Julius a lot of weight, because everybody see what the team is doing, and then with Thibodeau, they're gonna give Julius his flowers. Coaches see what dude doing by himself. I would say, I mean, not saying it by himself, but by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's truly, you know what I'm saying, being a leader. You know what I'm saying, leader, and, you know, driving the ship. He's driving this thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot of talented forwards.
There is
in the Eastern Conference that he's got to deal with. You know, man. Forwards and centers. It's not just forwards; it's forwards and centers. A lot of talented players, which makes it difficult. You know, it makes it difficult for him. Which is, I'm glad, and I like to see that the Knicks are making a push for him. The players are making a push for him. You know, like his teammates are making a push for him, because there's just so many, you know, front court players in the Eastern Conference. I mean, you got Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, Antetokounmpo, Jason Tatum. Only 3 of these players can be starters.
Right, Sabonis.
Right, so you got Embiid, Durant, and Antetokounmpo, who are likely going to be starters.
Right.
Then you got Jason Tatum, you got Vucevic, you got Randle, Jeremiah Grant, you got Gordon Hayward, Tobias Harris, Pascal Siakam, Chris Middleton. You got Sabonis, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Lauri Markkanen, John Collins. Like, you got a lot of people that's in the running. You know what I mean? So it's not going to be easy. You know, it's not going to be easy going for him. You know what I mean?
I think, like you pointed out, these next games are going to be the determination, and he has all the incentive to go out and, number one, regardless of his stats, try to get us the win, but all this incentive to push for the wins, because I think the wins is what's going to get him in.
Absolutely.
More than anything else.
Right.
We've seen it years past, you know, repeatedly, where a guy deserves to be in there and they blame it on the record. Most of the time they blame it on the guy, the team not being in the playoffs. So I think, number one, it's tough because most of those guys are on playoff teams. So I think it's going to boil down to positioning. So, you know, if we could push the needle and get into the fifth, you know, God willing, fourth seed, you know, even if it's just before the All-Star break, I think that will get him in more so than anything else. You know what I mean?
Also, you know, Bradley Beal didn't make the All-Star game last season, right? And people are like, well, how come that didn't happen? But it goes along directly with what you said. Washington didn't win that many games. If Randle continues to play like this, and the Knicks are winning, I'm talking about if Randle plays MVP level caliber like tonight, he's gonna be in the All-Star game. 100%. I have no doubt in my mind.
Right.
When was the last time we said that about a Knicks player since Melo?
Yeah. So where was we about to transition to? Because I was going to say, if real quick, if we could look at his next, you know, I guess, what is it, the next 8 games that we got this season? We got the Spurs, we got Minnesota, Golden State, the Kings, Pacers, Pistons, and I think you said San Antonio. We finished the season out with.
We finished this half off with.
This half off with San Antonio. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we see the Spurs twice. Who do they got linked? Do they, you know, we know Julius Kryptonite, and I mean, you know, that's Linky and Long. I don't think they got many because is Aldridge playing?
No, I haven't seen. He didn't play last night against Charlotte. I didn't see him.
I don't think, you know, they got much that can stop them. Minnesota, no, I think, you know, that's gonna be barbecue chicken. Golden State, he played Draymond again. That might be a tough matchup, but that's a revenge game, I think, for Julius. Because did he play good in that first Golden State matchup?
Yeah, I have to go back and look at it.
I don't even remember. Yeah. Okay, but the Kings barbecue chicken, because he want to see he want to see him again. And then we got the Pacers, so then he matches up with Sabonis and Pistons, that's barbecue chicken, and then San Antonio again. So with that closing out, I don't see Julius having a bad game in that stretch. So we should book it. I say book it. I'm gonna say book it. You know what I'm saying?
The game on Wednesday is the one that scares me because
Orlando.
Yeah, they always play us tough, man. That's a clip, and I've said it.
Well, who's guarding Julius? That's the thing. That's the catalyst.
Didn't Julius go off on the last?
I was about to say, yeah, he ate Gordon up because I think Gordon had to play. I think either the 3 or they had to move Gordon around for one reason or another. I don't know.
We shot poorly overall that game, but
that was yeah.
But the thing about it, the one that the player that I mean, I know we're focusing on Randle, but the player that scares me the most in that game is going to be Bulsa. I can't even pronounce his name.
Bucci Man. That's Bucci Man, man.
Yeah.
Bucci Man.
Yeah, Bucci Man. He's the one that scares me. Scares me the most. I think we're going to have our hands full with in Orlando.
We are.
So let me show you. Let me show you my Eastern Conference. My Eastern Conference All-Star team. Who I'm voting for my All-Star team. This is it right here. That's who I'm voting for my All-Star team. That's my Eastern Conference All-Stars, ladies and gentlemen. You got Quickley at point guard. You got Quickley at point guard. You got RJ Barrett at shooting guard. You got Julius Randle at power forward. Mitchell Robinson at center. And Obi Toppin at another forward spot. That is my all-star. That's who I'm voting for. Go vote for him too, ladies and gentlemen. Go put your votes in.
I'm not going to lie to you. That's a fact because I voted like every other day. It's 23 hours. And everybody I do in the East is on the Knicks team.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, all right. That looked like what I did. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Let's talk about when do we play? What's today? Monday. We play Wednesday against Orlando.
Yeah.
Let's dig into that game for a little bit. Well, actually, before we do that, I do want to take a look real quick, just looking at the numbers behind tonight's game. Of course, we know Julius Randle had 44 points. But when you look at it, the Knicks won 123 to 112. The rebounding battle was 42 to 42. Assists, the Knicks had 22 assists to 17 assists for the Atlanta Hawks. I thought it was 50 to 48, but I guess it was 42 to 42. 5 steals by each, 6 blocks by each. The Knicks only had 8 turnovers. They're doing a great job taking care of the basketball lately. Great job taking care of that basketball. The Knicks shot 50% from the field, where the Hawks were at 42%. The Knicks shot 50% from the three-point line. They shot 81% from the free throw line. And look, the Knicks just played a heck of a basketball game all the way around. Contributions all over the floor from everybody out there. Everyone played their part and they played their role and they did it well. The Knicks kept Atlanta down to 6 fast break points. I said before the game, Atlanta averaged 10. The Knicks were only giving up 10 fast break points, which was, close to, one of the top teams in the league as far as how many fast break points they give up. They held Atlanta to 6, and the Knicks only had 7. Second chance points, Atlanta had 20. The Knicks had 19. A lot of it is due to, Clint Capella grabbing them offensive rebounds. And then, of course, Atlanta, they won the battle in the paint tonight, 42 to 34. A lot of that is due to Clint Capella. Clint Capella had 18 rebounds. That's what he does. But overall, good game by the New York Knicks tonight. Really, really good win, spearheaded by Julius Randle and a MVP-like performance. So let's go ahead and let's get into this Orlando game, because that's another team in the Eastern Conference that is hoping, to be one of the top 10, right? They are 10-18. They're in the 12th spot right now in the East, 2 games out of the top 10. This was another reason why this was a big win for the Knicks, because they dropped Atlanta down, right? There's 2 teams fighting for, and it might seem really early to talk about playoff positioning, but the way teams are bunched up for the remainder of this season, every win is going to be crucial. Every win and every loss is going to be crucial for every team because they're so bunched up. Right now, the Knicks are a half a game out of the 4th seed. Half a game out of the 4th seed, and they are now 1.5 games out of the 10th seed. That's how bunched up it is. You know what I'm saying? And let's say Indiana, if Indiana loses, then the Knicks will be tied for 5th. If Boston loses, Indiana lost. Okay, so then they lost tonight. Okay, they lost tonight. So it's 14. So they're 14 and 14. I don't know when Boston plays next, but let's say they lose tomorrow night.
Tomorrow.
Right? They'd be Denver. Against Denver, and it's a good chance that they could lose that game. They'll be 13 and 14. If they lose tomorrow night, they'll be 13 and 14, and the Knicks, the Pacers will move up to that 4th spot, and the Knicks will be in the 5th spot, right? Because the Knicks will have more wins than Boston, and they beat Boston, right? So, I mean, this is going to be a battle to the end of the season, and it's going to be tenuous. I like it. I really, really do like it. I know it's nip and tuck all the way through, but I think this is really, really good for this team. It feels like. We ever been in that? I mean, right, but it feels like things lined up really well for the Knicks, even from the beginning of the season, and we all looked at it and said, "Man, their schedule is so tough." But I think one of the things that having that tough schedule did is make them come in focused, because they knew we got to come out and play ball and be sharp. So from the beginning of the season, while we all thought that Tom Thibodeau was going to play around with lineups, and he said, I might be messing around with lineups until the 10th grade, 2 or 3 weeks into the season, he was lying to all of us. He knew what he was going to do coming in. He knew what he was going to do the first preseason game. The same starting lineup that we had except for Mitch. It's the only substitution. But basically the same starting lineup that we had the first preseason game is the starting lineup that we have now, except for Mitchell Robinson being inserted in that lineup. The same bench players except for Austin Rivers coming back. Maybe the bench players changed around a little bit. Now you got Rose. Quickley is playing, right? Kevin Knox was in. Now he's out. Frank Ntilikina played some, now he's out. So that changed around a little bit. But your starters, they stayed the same. He knew what he was doing right from Jump Street. And he had his mind on, listen, we got to be sharp. We got to be ready to go because we have a short training camp. We got to be sharp coming into the season because we got a tough schedule. And I think that made the entire team be focused. And with the way it is now, with the schedule, not the schedule, but the standings being so jumbled, I think they are going to remain focused. It's helping them to stay focused. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's exactly what they needed to be there. Tony, it looked like you was getting ready to say something.
I was just gonna reiterate what you were saying. You kind of covered it. That's how I put my head down. So right on point, man. I think. This, just keep in mind that the schedule gets easier, and I've been saying it all year, man. Hit our stride at the right time, man. I said stay around 500. If we get better than 500, even better. But I still don't think we're gonna peak until that second half of the season. So let's see where we at the end of this home game stretch, and let's pray for the best, man. We in a good position.
Good position.
I'm super excited.
We're on uncharted territory.
Real quick, Kev, I just wanted to. This is what I was thinking at the time. I don't want to hear nothing from ESPN. I don't want to hear nothing from Fox Sports News. I don't want to hear nothing from the only people that are allowed to talk about the Knicks are the YouTube channels that's been holding the Knicks down. Seriously.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? NBK fam and everybody. Like seriously,
exactly.
Don't promote those guys when they start talking. Don't retweet them. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't share it. You know, if you're gonna comment, make sure you let them know they're not welcome. They're not welcome back.
Nah,
exactly.
no doubt about that. Shoot, no doubt about that.
What I was gonna say was, this is uncharted territory. I mean, I remember last year when Sam, I was on your thing, and you said 20, like I think it was 20 or 25 games into the season, you were like, this thing is done. And we tried to hold on to a little hope, but there was no hope at all. I mean, we're on uncharted territory. And people still, I think a lot of Knicks fans still don't want to believe what's going on. But get on the wagon, get on the train.
Yeah, right.
Get on the train.
Yeah, ain't no room for him. Ain't no room for him. I don't want him. If you wasn't holding it down this whole time, you are not welcome on the train.
Exactly.
You watch the train go by. We'll wait.
Yeah, but Sam, you remember last year you said this thing is done? Remember you said that?
I remember early in the season. It was done.
It
was done. So, Divine, talk to me about Orlando. What do we got to do?
Yeah.
You know,
I think we just got to play our game like we've been playing. Our defense on the second half night, kept us brought us back in the game because believe it or not, they scored 63 points. I don't think Orlando, with the injuries they have, is talented as the Atlanta Hawks. Only difference is that they're in their home arena. I mean, we know what Vucevic, whatever his name, we know what he gonna do. You know, you know what he gonna do. So I mean, but I still think that the way we playing right now, I just think it's just all clicking together, man. I just think that, like that caller said, when I see Derrick Rose bring them cats to the middle of that court in that huddle, say, listen, when I see that told me something. You know what I mean? That told me something. The Knicks got good veteran leadership there. They got good young talent. They got a good coach. They playing hard. They playing together. And I just really believe, man, this is the best is yet to come. They just starting to get into each other's. I mean, I just like the way the team is built. So I don't think Orlando going to be a problem. Not saying we can't lose the game. I don't think we're going to lose the game. I just think that right now, Knicks is on the roll. And I just think they playing the type of basketball that, you know what, even when our offense ain't playing good, our defense keeping us in the ball game. You know what I mean? They keep every game close. So that means, you know, if somebody hit a couple of buckets here and there, Rose come in and get a spark. You know, I just think it's crazy, man. But I think we're going to go down to Orlando and handle that. And then we got a 5-game homestand where they ain't got to go travel. They can lay in their own beds. I just think that we about to do this thing, man. Truly. So I think the Knicks will go down to Orlando and handle that Wednesday morning. Wednesday night. Obviously on Wednesday morning. Sorry.
Yeah. Last time
we got you.
Shameless plug, man. Real talk.
Yeah. Right. The last time we played Orlando, we beat them 91-84. Right, low scoring game. It was a defensive battle, right? You know, where Aaron Gordon played good defense on Julius Randle. He had a triple-double, Aaron Gordon did. He had 18 points, 17 rebounds, and 10 assists. Vucevic, he had 24 points and 14 rebounds. You had Terrence Ross had 19 points and 3 assists, 3 rebounds. You know, it was a tough game for the Knicks. The Knicks they didn't have, you know, they were kind of undermanned at that time, right? You didn't have Alec Burks playing. Kevin Knox was in the lineup. Austin Rivers was in the lineup. So this is totally different. RJ Barrett, that game, he had 22 points and 10 rebounds. Julius Randle had 21 points and 17 rebounds. But Aaron Gordon made it tough. Julius Randle shot 26% from the field in that game. He made a lot of free throws, or, you know, he was 9 for 13 from the free throw line, but he made it tough for him. Mitchell Robinson was on the boards. He had 10 rebounds. You know, so we got some good rebounding from Randle, Barrett, and Robinson in that game. Obviously, Robinson's not there. We're going to need some good rebounding from New Orleans, Noel, and our guards. And if we're not going to get it from Noel, which we probably won't, we're going to need our guards, Barrett, Alfred. We're going to need those guys to really help us hit the boards. Obi Toppin, he's got to stay on the floor. You know what I mean? Tibbs is not taking any shorts. He pulled them immediately. Instead, when he shot that when Gallinari shot that 3 in his face, right? What Tibbs was upset about is that he was there, but he allowed him to get in his shooting motion, right? It's one thing if you're closing out and you're running at the player and they're already in your shooting motion. There's nothing you can do about that. But he was right there, and he just stayed back and allowed him. And Gallinari's slow. It's not taking Obi Toppin off the dribble, right? He just sat back and allowed him get in that shooting motion, and I think Tibbs was hot, and he pulled him out immediately after that. That was like 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Pulled him out immediately. He's not taking it, which is good for Obi Toppin. That's what he needs, right? He needs someone that's not going to take any shorts, and because that's how he's going to learn to play the basketball game, and he'll learn to break those habits real quick if he wants to stay on the floor real quick. But we're going to need him to be out there rebounding the basketball, helping us out on the boards Wednesday night against Orlando. I'll be scouting Terrence Ross. You guys know how I feel about Terrence Ross, so I'll be scouting Terrence Ross against Orlando. Go ahead, Kev.
Hey, Tim. Yeah. Is Evian Fournier playing?
I'm not sure who's playing.
I think he is.
I'm not
back.
sure who's playing. He might be back. I don't know. I don't know.
No, he's not. He's not.
He's not back.
He's not back. Okay. Orlando right now, they're 10-18 on the season. 10-18 on the season, and I believe they're 2-8 in their last 10 games. So they're a team that's on the slide. They're a team that's on the slide.
Yeah, they got cooked by the Suns last night.
We need to get this win against Orlando, another team that we should beat. We beat them before. We should beat them again. And if we want to be in the playoffs, we got to do it. We can get back to being 500 with this win right here against Orlando. And it'd be nice to finally have a 4-game win streak, and then go into playing San Antonio, who is 16-11 on the season. They've won their last 2. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games. It'd be nice to go into San Antonio with some confidence, feeling good about what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Get to a call. Call you live. What's poppin'?
No, so they pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've had. I think they had a game be canceled, right? So who knows? That game might even be canceled because of COVID-19 or whatever. So, Caller, you live. What's popping?
Hey, what's up to the MBK family? I just was calling. I just wanted to show some appreciation to our bigs. Again, they're playing defense. I think once we start moving the ball around a little more, start finding that dump down to the bigs, things will start opening up more on offense. I remember in the pregame we mentioned the Lowry situation. I think that'll be a really good move for the Knicks, a guy that can push the tempo. He can push Tibbs' narrative of being a dog, along with the defense that we already have. I think if we start building on that character, that'll be good for the Knicks. And second thing I wanted to mention, we never mentioned Nerlens Noel's defense and his numbers. He's a top 5 defender in the league. He's averaging 2 blocks a game at 18 minutes a game. It's kind of tough to do that with limited time, and especially today he had some foul trouble. He was able to put that behind him in the fourth quarter and play his game. I mean, I know, Sims, I know you like getting on his hands and his bricks for hands, like you like to say, but we got to show some appreciation sometimes, too. Leon Rose pushed the right button at signing him for $5 million. I'm going to listen, guys. Have a good night.
I appreciate you, man. Hey, I agree with you 100%, man. Nerlens Noel is, for what he is, he's playing his role and he's giving us, a spark defensively.
As a former player, and I know as a coach, it's tough to catch that pass in the baseline. He's catching it in a very sensitive spot. That baseline feels like a third defender. So he's under a lot of pressure, and, we got to give him some credit. He's in a tough spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give him some credit. I like the way he's been playing. I just want him to catch the basketball a little bit more. I think he can, man. I just want him to catch it a little bit more. Sometimes them joints be right there in his pocket, and he's like, bloop. I'm like, oh my gosh, because he's just not. A lot of times it's because he's not expecting the basketball. But hey, it is what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Tom Thibodeau's the type of coach that focuses on the player's strengths and puts you in a position to capitalize on your strengths. And that's what he's done with just about everybody that's out there. So, that's good.
Right, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
No doubt. Appreciate the call, man.
All right, you too.
The Knicks in the last 3 games, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about their offense. In the last 3 games, they've scored 123 points against the Hawks, 121 points against the Houston Rockets, and 109 points against the Washington Wizards. I'm hoping that they're going to continue to score like this. Right now, obviously tonight, Julius Randle.
Is Zach LaVine. All we need is Zach LaVine. We're going to score 145 and then keep teams under 100 points, man.
Yeah, all right.
145, put 145 on your head, and you don't score more than 100 points on us.
Well, hold on. What you say, Chop?
Oh, you heard me?
You were saying something.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I thought I was in the background. I was like, damn, I've been saying something about Zach LaVine, and everybody thought I was crazy, but Prince just said it. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, the Knicks are scoring the ball. They've scored the ball over the last few games, and I'm hoping that they can continue to score the ball at this clip. Right now, the Knicks have won 5 of the last 7 games. Yeah, that's nice, man. 5 of the last 7, 6 of the last 10. Go ahead, Josh.
Going along with what we're talking about, so I just got to highlight this because a lot of people, are waiting for me to do this. RJ Barrett with the 2 big shots. The game being a 5-point game, less than 5 minutes left to go. That's clutch time. And RJ Barrett knocked those 2 shots out. I got to give him a lot of credit. But just like you, Sim, I was feeling real crazy about this game going down the stretch because it was getting close, and we were trading bucket for bucket. And I felt like that's why I was kind of like, ooh, I don't want this game to be really close like that, because outside of Randle, we really don't have anybody else that, you can really depend on, so to speak. You know what I mean? And it took an MVP-like performance for Randle to help us pull this game out tonight. You get what I'm saying? And the 2 shots from RJ Barrett. But along with the LaVine thing and the Bradley Beal thing, if we get one of those 2 dudes playing the way we're playing, this team would be unstoppable in the Eastern Conference.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Unstoppable. Unstoppable. And Sam, I'm not sure if you saw, I tweeted out a potential trade or whatever, a Bradley Beal trade where we don't have to give up really not too many young guys. Probably Kevin Knox in that trade. But, we give up the 3 first-round picks, 2 of the Dallas picks.
You ain't my friend no more, man.
I can tell you, this is the trade that I proposed. It was Reggie Bullock, Kevin Knox, Austin Rivers, and Frank Ntilikina, the 2021 Dallas pick, the 2022 Knicks pick, and the 2023 Dallas pick for Bradley Beal. So the only thing we're giving up really is our own first-round pick in 2022. We have the rest of our picks.
Right.
So everyone is like, oh, we can get rid of the farm. We got to get rid of the farm to get these guys. That's not necessarily true.
Not necessarily true.
Those Dallas picks that we acquired in the Porzingis trade, we can put those to use in the trade and still have our own.
And that's why we want to put the trade right there.
Yeah.
That's why I want LaVine. Right. That's why I want Zach LaVine. That's why I want Zach LaVine.
We got to make the trade. We got to make the trade, though.
But I forgot who it was that they were looking for an expiring and a young player, like a young player with some potential.
Upside,
I don't know with some upside. I don't know.
Kobe.
Right, or Quickley. Quickly. They're gonna want a young person with upside, an expiring contract, and 3 number ones. From what I'm hearing, if that report was true.
Right, and I think that report was a scout, an NBA scout is saying this is what they think Bradley Beal would be worth. But yeah, see, they would probably want Quickley. I think they would. I mean, they losing the guard, they would want to pick up another young guard, I think. Caller, you're live. What's popping?
I have to still do it.
I would still do it, yeah.
Caller, you there? Hello? All right, guess you're not there. We'll get another caller on the line shortly. So you would do it? You would give up? Tony, you said you'll go ahead and give up Quickley in that trade?
Sam, this is what I've been saying, man. Yes, like you're gonna have to give up one of either Obi and Quickley. I don't think they're gonna want Obi, and it's not because they dislike Obi. I think it's just because he doesn't fit a position of need for them.
They got Uchimura.
Exactly.
And, they just drafted the Danny kid.
But I mean, and that's just if they're smart, because I think we could get away with Knox and Ntilikina, and you know, whatever the rest of the salary match we need to make, plus the $15 million absorbing, plus the 2 Dallas picks, or whatever pick of our own I wouldn't do this year. And even if it takes 2 second rounders, it's gonna take a haul, and it looks like a lot, but like I've been saying,
and it's
like
not the same as the Melo trade. It's not the same because in the Melo trade, we got rid of all of our draft picks. In that scenario that I proposed, we keep our own draft picks.
We got 7 of them. We got 7 of them.
We got rid of 4.
They would want 2 switches too.
Guy off the bench.
Uncle Fulio, as long as you pull Knox out that trade and swap, you know, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I'm running that trade.
Knox included, rather than Quickley, works better for us for the simple fact we're not losing a single rotation player.
Right.
They're not gonna do that though. They not.
But they wouldn't do it though.
They're not doing that. But Knox and Ntilikina, they not doing that.
They got picks.
I think the picks.
But they want no. They want picks and players.
Right.
If I'm the Wizards, I would want picks and players. I wouldn't just want picks.
I'm starting with RJ, right?
I mean,
you know, they don't start with RJ.
I don't think that they even gonna move Bradley Beal this season.
I don't think so.
And
I don't think so.
I think we better off just saying, you know, either rocking with what we got, or if you know.
But Zach LaVine,
or maybe I don't think Zach LaVine is going to get moved either. Didn't Chicago just win tonight? I mean, they are in contention.
But they lost the other night when he dropped 46. Though they lost the other night when he dropped 46. So.
I mean, I get that, but they're in the 9th spot. They're in contention. I don't see why they would say, look how tight the Eastern Conference is. Why would they say I'm going to trade my best player? I don't think they're going to just trade the best player when they're in the earshot as well. They can go on a 2-game win streak and be right there. I mean, they're already in the play-in tournament. I don't see why. I mean,
as of right now.
And
then they get marketing. Well, it depends on how they. Like I said, you know, we just talked about our 8-game stretch. Like I said before about their 8-game stretch, they got some killers that they got to come up against. So he's gonna have to do that. Which, you know, that's Zach LaVine. He's gonna do it. You know, and he's gonna have to do that for the next 8 games by himself. So I mean, he's gonna show y'all how much he should be a Knick.
I mean, you know.
But
I mean,
you're not concerned about his lack of playoff experience. Sorry, Sam.
No, because again, you got to think about Steph. You got to think about this team. That's the one thing that like, if it was like a team that was coached by, you know, Hornacek or Fizz or one of them cats, I would be like, okay, we need some veteran. We need a veteran guy who's been there. Like they said, if you want to go someplace, find somebody who's been there or somebody who's been on the road. I forget how that saying goes. So again, yeah, I understand that, but again, with a team like we got, and with you got Derrick Rose, who done had, you know, playoff success, and you got Tom Thibodeau. They will make sure when it comes to, like I said, this is a different NBA. So they gonna make sure that when it comes to this playoff basketball or play-in basketball, we gonna make sure that every X is crossed and every O is circled, because again, they're gonna make sure that we won't get out-coached. So that's the one thing that I don't worry about. So Zach, if we could pull that trade off in the next couple games, but I don't think it's like Sim said, it's gonna be hard because again, he would have to say himself like, all right, I know we ain't gonna do nothing, and I'll, you know, just make the trade.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Zach LaVine tonight, they beat the Indiana Pacers tonight. He had 30 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. He shot 44% from the field. He shot 44% from 3. Chicago's not just giving up. They're not just gonna be like, here you go.
Right, you can have it, but
Zach.
again,
You know, we're gonna
same
do you a
difference.
favor. We want to see New York do well. Here you go. They're not doing that, man.
Right.
They, you know, they I think probably say we want to try to build around this guy, just like the Knicks is probably saying about Julius Randle. We want to try to build around this guy, and I know the Knicks have a better record, but it's kind of two teams in the same type of situation. You know,
no, they don't have nearly as many assets as we do. They tricked up so many assets.
I'm talking about record wise, young players wise. You know, they're probably looking
I hear
like,
what you said.
you know, they're looking like, you know, we could, you know, put some things around Zach LaVine. Why don't y'all send Julius Randle over here? Instead of us sending Zach to you, why don't y'all send Julius Randle over here so I can pair him with Zach LaVine? You know what I'm saying?
I was just gonna say,
And they go,
if they had Randle,
we're gonna say, what you got? What do you got to send us? And we're gonna laugh. That's the thing about it. It's not even like you said. That's a joke, right? That's a joke. That's a joke. Where we got a serious. Our offer would be a serious offer. You know, three first rounders, 2 second rounders, in a potential player.
Well, I'm not saying about what the offer would or would not be. What I'm saying is that they're looking at their team like if we can add a piece like a Julius Randle, then we could, or if we could add a piece, maybe they go out and get what's his name that is on the blocks now from Detroit. Not Drummond, but Blake Griffin. Maybe they say, hey, if we add something like that, we could be making a push. So Bradley Beal and Zach LaVine. The more you think about it, it's probably not gonna be there.
I ain't gonna give up.
Would you give up the same amount of assets for LaVine that you would for Beal? I wouldn't.
No.
They don't even make the same, right? They don't even make the same amount of money. How much does LaVine make?
Bean contracted to steal, right? But that's
the thing. Well, see, Steph, that's what I'm saying. I'm not like I said. If we would give up, you talking about like that third first rounder would be like a swap. A pick swap. And again, just like Josh said to what he said, we still could give up 2 first rounders that's not ours.
Exactly.
That wouldn't cost us anything. And you talking about 2 second rounders.
I don't have
you
a
talking
problem.
about 2 second round picks that we don't even truly care about. We got 7 of them, 5 of them, 5 second round picks that are ours. So you could give away 2 or 3 of those and still say, okay, who you want, Quickley or Obi?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. You're gonna have to give away. It's not to them. They're not gonna get it done by themselves.
No, well, Chicago would probably, in their case, they probably would. And as weird as it is, like Sim said about the Beal case, they probably will want Quickley. The way Quickley's playing and just the way he fits with them, I think, like I said, because they got Patrick Williams, so I don't think they would truly want Obi. But again, I think they would be open
and
to
Williams
it.
at 3.
Yeah, Williams at 3.
Yeah.
But they got the other kid, Wendell Carter. Is he a 4 or 5? I think he's a 4, but he plays the 5. Mm-hmm. So they probably would take Obi. So that's what I'm saying. So we would give up even less in that. That's why I hear what you're saying, Steph. No, you wouldn't have to give up 3 of our players. You would have to give up 1 player, 2 picks, maybe a swap if they really want. If they really trying to hold out. Where you be like, okay, 2025, we'll do a swap with y'all. We're doing
right. No, that works. That works.
Well, let me get to this phone call. I want to come back and talk about this center position because we're getting ready to play probably the best center that we've had to, not probably the best center we've had to play since Mitchell Robinson's been out. So this is going to pose a different look, a different threat to us. Dealing with Vucevic. Let me get to this caller though. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Hey, what's up, Sam?
What's going on with you?
Over in Jersey. I was just excited about the Knicks, man. Great win tonight. And, I was thinking I was playing some 2K. And, I did some manager moves. And, Blake Griffin is looking to be traded right now from the Pistons. And I said, what if we move Randle to the small forward? We put Blake Griffin in. We trade for him, put him power forward. We have Mitch at the center. Then we have RJ coming in at the 2. And then we get Alfred Payton at the 1. What do you think about that sort of lineup?
Nah, it's not. That ain't working. That's not working. Nah.
You see Julius creating off the dribble, man.
Bro, we are going to be defensively. We will be slow and we will get torn up. We will get killed. Nah, I don't want any parts of Blake Griffin. I don't want any parts of Blake Griffin. I don't like Blake Griffin. I don't want any parts of Blake Griffin at all. He can keep that $35 million contract over there in Detroit or wherever. I don't want any parts of that guy.
And what about Drummond? What are you looking at about Drummond?
I'm not even interested in Drummond right now, me personally. You know what I mean? I'm only really interested in obviously having some another backup center. I'm really only interested in adding more a better scoring wing player. That's really my only interest right now, and a backup center until Mitch comes back. Another center, an insurance policy type of center. I'm not trying to give up a whole lot of stuff for Andre Drummond, and then when one of those wing players comes available, we don't have the capital to go get them. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, man. Thank you so much for the time, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. So, but along those lines, though, right, I can understand why people would talk about Drummond, because along those lines, we're getting ready to go up against Nikolai Vucevic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Don Knicks, I do want Mo Bamba. And I'm not saying he's a cure-all. I just like the kid and his upside and his talent and what he could be one day. I like that guy. I think he could do something as a stretch five one day in this league. But we're getting ready to go up against Nikola Vucevic, right? And they got a couple guys on that team that, I'm going to be paying attention to. Terrence Ross is one of them. But how are we going to deal with Vucevic? Nerlens Noel, with all his defensive splendor, is small. Relatively speaking, when it comes to defending these big centers. Small guy. Nikola Vucevic is what? 7 foot? 250, 260, something like that.
I think he's about 6'10", 6'11". Actually, he looks big.
Okay. Very nimble. Nice post game. Shooter from the outside. He can do a lot of stuff. And he can definitely get Nerlens Noel in foul trouble. That could be a tough matchup for us on Wednesday. I'm gonna start with Guillermo since we haven't heard from Guillermo yet. He just got here. What do you think about this game on Wednesday, or this matchup with Nerlens Noel, Nikola Vucevic, a 6'11", 260 pounds?
Well, first of all, I want to salute to everybody in the chat, man. Just say this: they're one of the worst three-point shooting teams. One of the worst teams offensively, right? They don't really have guys to space out the floor. I would run what we did against the Cavaliers, right? As soon as Vucevic gets that ball in the post, attack him. Throw the double teams at him. Make sure you close up the passing lanes and make sure no one's cutting through the passing lanes. In the late last game that we played against them, they had Aaron Gordon and Vucevic run the pick and roll, and we had that clutch turnover. I forgot who tipped the ball. I forgot who defended it. I think that was the one where they tipped it out and RJ had to dunk or layup or something like that. But got to be uber aggressive and defend the passing lanes and make sure to attack Vucevic, because I think first quarter in that game he had like 10 points or something like that. In the first half he had like 15, almost 20 points. Then they went away from him, right? I would force those guys to try to kill us out on the perimeter. Again, throw the double teams at him like they did with the Cavaliers and Andre Drummond in that second game, and make the ancillary guys beat us. Aaron Gordon's not a good shooter. Terrence Ross comes off the bench. He's a volume guy who we get, white hot, but also be cold as hell. Cole Anthony's coming on, but again, I think that you could guard him straight up one-on-one. They had Dwayne Bacon and Enos. Enos, I think, had like a few threes against us. But again, crowd that middle, attack him as soon as he puts the ball on the ground. As soon as you see that the ball getting to him, send him a sneak double team with, say, the other guy from the other corner coming up to sneak up, or push the other guy and have that guy, the next guy next to him, come in, set the double team, make them force him to make those cross country passes, and reset. A lot of his communication getting back. This game, you saw a lot of switching today. You didn't see a lot of switching in the past few games. So definitely Tom Thibodeau's being a little more fluid with the defense, but just don't let him kill us. Double team him and get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah. As far as, right now looking at their guard situation, they're not running out some crazy dynamic guards, which kind of really does help us. You know what I'm saying?
Fournier is back though.
Fournier is back. Fournier is back.
Back.
So that that could be something. He averages 17 17 a game.
He's a bucket.
Yeah, he can go get it. He can go get it. He's averaging 17 a game. He shoots 35% from three, 44% from the field. So that can pose a little bit of an issue. What do you think about that, Gimbo? What do we do with Evan Fournier?
Damn, I forgot he was back. Thanks, Stephanie, for the whole game plan. Yeah, right. No, because that was a guy I wanted to trade for earlier this season, but the people, he's hurting. So with Evan Fournier, look, damn, he could ball too. Again, run the same play, and literally aggressively switch, right? Reset. You've seen it again today. They aggressively reset, switched. Communicate. Try your best. Again, I'm more concerned about having the big guys in foul trouble. I don't want to see another game where, Taj Gibson and Noel have to walk on eggshells because, they have the 4 fouls. So I would probably sell out on the paint defense, but then switch back out. I mean, they did it against the Bucks. We do the same thing against the Bucks. Whenever Giannis put the ball on the ground, not everybody, there was like 3, sometimes 4 guys attacking him. Then he kicked out to the perimeter. Now, granted, there's some open shots, but the Knicks aggressively reset. So it's all about just aggressively resetting on those guys. Obviously, Evan Fournier and Cole Anthony can also slash, but it's being, if you get them out of that position, if look, they probably run, dribble down. They don't play with much pace. They're like 20th in the league in pace, something like that. Dribble down, they dump it. They try to run a little switch and then get him in Vucevic in a favorite position. Down low, I would just keep sending a double team and try to get it out of his hands as much as possible. Let Evan Fournier and Cole Anthony beat me from the outside.
Looking at a quick look at the matchups between the two teams. Both teams are averaging about 104 points per game, and the Knicks are just getting to this 104 points per game, right? Yeah. They've been averaging around 103 points per game. They're just now getting to this 104 points per game. But like I said, they've scored 123, 121, 109 points in their last 3 games. So hopefully they're going to continue to stay on that uptick. Both teams average about 47 rebounds. Both teams around 22 or 23 assists. About 6-7 steals. Both teams about 4 or 5 blocks. Both teams are low turnover teams. They both shoot the same from the field, around 40. Well, actually, Orlando shoots 43%. The Knicks shoot 45%. Orlando shoots 34% from 3, while the Knicks shoot 36%. But a lot of the numbers that you see are even between the two teams. Everything except for the record.
Defense is probably better, right?
Yeah, I would think that our defense is probably record.
The Knicks rank fairly well in regards to second chance points. But a lot of that came from Mitch. So, and Noel has been playing his butt off. I'll give him credit for that. But again, I'm second chance points tonight. Sorry, my bad. Capella, I apologize. Capella had his way. Down low, already had 18 rebounds. And they got Aaron Gordon and Vucevic. So it has to be concerted effort. It just can't be Noel. It got to be RJ. It got to be Payton. And Payton's actually for the team. He actually ranks okay with regards to offensive rebounding percentage. He actually ranks up there with regards to guards. So it has to be concerted effort. It has to be at least 2 guys crashing the boards because
we did that tonight.
Yeah,
we did that tonight.
We did, but Capella set 18. So,
but that's kind of what he averages, though. I mean, that's like what he averages, though. Clint Capella. Yeah.
Clint Capella actually ranks up there too with regards to offensive rebounding. He's like,
yeah. I mean, I don't know if he averages 18 rebounds, but he averages a lot of rebounds, and he's very high. 15. Big offensive rebounder. The Knicks had 10 offensive rebounds today, which is not bad. You had 1 by Bullock, 4 by RJ Barrett, 3 by Alfred Payton. Right, so they're going to have to continue that team rebounding, the guards coming in and really crashing those boards and being scrappy, trying to get those rebounds. So we're definitely going to need those guys to hit the boards and keep having those guard contributions. But we had 42 rebounds and we averaged 47. So, you're missing a little something there on that rebounding side without Mitchell Robinson being there.
Also, Sam, the first game we shot poorly. I don't know what the percentage was, but it was pretty sure it was under 35% from the field. We still pulled the game out. We can't afford to miss shots or be, inefficient from the field when we play Orlando, because we're going to be missing those offensive rebounds. So as long as we shoot well, I think it will be fine. But if we don't, then that game's going to come down to the wire.
That's true.
Right. What was the points in the paint, Sam? Randle, is this that they scored in the paint without Mitch being there?
They scored
36, right?
42 points in the paint tonight. Atlanta scored 42 points in the paint tonight.
Yeah. Vucevic, the last game, had 43 points and 19 rebounds. So we like, I noticed we pulled this game out and it was kind of close down the stretch, but I noticed that they was getting into the basket. Into the lane, to the basket a little bit more, of course, with Mitch not being there. And that's going to prove to be a problem with us. So if we can win these games, I don't really see the Knicks doing anything. But if we start getting killed in there, they may go for like a backup center or something to kind of help us out. Because you could tell the difference with Mitch not being there.
Oh, you can tell the difference big time with Mitch not being there. And yeah, we'll see how we fare going up against a guy like, Guillermo, Legion. This is the perfect time for the Knicks to play some zone. I'm trying to tell you, this is a good time for the Knicks to play some zone.
I didn't. Yo, bro, did you see wasn't this past game? Holy crap! We just played, not Hawks. We just played
Miami.
No, not Miami. Oh my gosh, who we just played? Not Miami.
It was either Washington or Houston.
Well, it was either. Washington. I think it was Houston. I think they almost did play some zone because I don't know what it is. I think they did play a little bit of zone. Now you see them switching a lot more.
Yeah, I thought I looked too. And I said, "Is that a zone?" But I wasn't sure. And then I think that they just switched. But I think this would be.
I saw RJ Barrett down low on one play. It may have been the Rockets.
It was the Rockets. They played a little bit of zone.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's like a weird thing. It's like they shoot out. Like it's like whoever doesn't have a man, once they have the dribble drive penetration kick out, just get to that guy. But then they play like a Zolt thing where I've seen like Derrick Rose and RJ up top, and it was like they'll double, and then a guy would sag off. And I'm like, are they playing zone? And he'll kind of like be around this guy. So it is a zone in a sense, but
I think it's more just them sagging off, because like you see, like Derrick Rose does this when Emmanuel Quickley, if someone is either trying to hand off or set a screen, like Derrick Rose kind of steps to the side a little bit so they can see everything that's happening, and then they make a decision on who's going to take who. Right. But I would like to see them just do a straight up real zone against a team like Orlando that you fear might be strong inside. Aaron Gordon had 17 rebounds, I think it was, against us. Vucevic had 10 rebounds against us. Someone else these guys would be able to beast out on the boards if we let them. A zone can help that, in my opinion. If you can play an aggressive matchup zone, with Noel hanging out in the middle. Obviously, he can't just stand in the middle of the zone. He's got to, be from side to side of the lane so he can get out of the paint, doesn't get a defensive 3 seconds, right? But I think that can help us on the boards a little bit. I don't think Tom Thibodeau is going to go to it unless he feels like we're really getting killed on the boards and inside, but I think it could be a good time to do it.
Right. I think Gordon is still out, too. I know he didn't play the last game.
Okay. Well, that would definitely help.
And that game, they kind of came back against us that game. We was beating them pretty convincingly. I think Gordon had a great second half. I think Ross had a great second half. I don't remember him doing much in the first quarter. I think he had a 4-point play down the stretch. It was a lot of things going their way in that fourth quarter. So I think we should be pretty fine. The only thing I am a little bit concerned again with Mitch being gone. And I wanted to ask what you guys think. Now, granted, this is going to be risky, but I think a small ball lineup against them might be beneficial just because they lack defenders. So if you could get a Randle on Vucevic on the offensive end, and I think he could just get him in foul trouble all night long, get him out the game. I also think Randle has the strength to kind of hold his own against Vucevic in the paint. And then if we do what you said, Sim, and you know, bring quick double teams down there, I think that'll be beneficial. And I wouldn't be surprised if there is a Knox sighting with Randle playing the 4 and Knox at the 5. Knox has been a better rebounder this year, and we could use that stretching the floor.
I remember in the first game, Randle was tired by the end of the game. Absolutely tired, because I think they were putting Vucevic on Randle. So I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, Tom Thibodeau had to go with the small ball lineup just because Noel was in foul trouble. But if I'm Tom Thibodeau, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go small ball for this game.
I'm not saying starting it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see it.
Right.
Aaron Gordon's out, by the way.
He's out 4 to 6 weeks.
He's out. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's even more of a reason.
Wow, he's out 4 to 6 weeks. What happened? Why is he out?
That was like about 4 weeks ago. Maybe like 2-3 weeks ago with an ankle injury.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't feel
ready. I don't think Tibbs will change his lineup. I think Tibbs going to roll out the same 5. He's going to keep the same rotation. He never changed up his rotation too much unless you ain't playing well. I think he's just going to roll out the same 5, and they're going to have to man up. And I think Reggie Bullock, he can hold Fourier down, man. Alfred Payton going to get Cole Anthony some problems. I think Bullock, I think he's good enough to keep Fourier under, not going and exploding with that jump shot. So I think we definitely got a good chance to go down there and do our thing. I just think our defense is just, it is what it is, man. I just think that Cole Anthony not going to get off on no Alfred Payton. I can guarantee you that.
Did y'all see earlier today in the first quarter, he had like 3 or 4 subs, like dumb early. Like they had Quickley, Rose, and Randle, RJ on the court at the same time in the first quarter. And this when Randle was hot. So it was like, and I don't think anybody was in foul trouble yet. I don't remember.
I think our bigs were. I think both of the bigs was in foul trouble the whole game.
I thought that was second. I thought second quarter where they got like the 3 or whatever. Like one had like 2, one had 3, and then Obi had 1. Taj had like 3, and then somebody had 2. But he experimented early on, and it's like not saying it was second quarter when they got in foul trouble. So it wasn't even the first quarter. Randle was hot. Mm-hmm. And he went to crazy rotations.
I think part of it is he wanted to try to keep somebody fresh dealing with Trae Young.
All right.
Because you have to do so much going over screens, trying to catch up to him when he goes past you. It's a lot of work to defend Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? And so I think he was probably trying to keep some fresh blood going on Trae Young all the time. Because I noticed, too, that he took Rose out a little bit earlier than normal in that second quarter, I think. Alfred Payton came back in, and I figured, he probably, just want to try to keep a fresh body on Trae Young all the time, because he's a tough guard to deal with. Yeah,
because he also gets BS foul calls.
Yeah, he gets some terrible calls. But Carly, you live. What's popping?
Tim,
what's up, man? How you feeling? What's going on with you, bro?
It's my guy right here.
You know what it is. I'm always feeling good after a Knicks win.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I mean? And that's 3 since the last time we spoke, right?
Yep.
Right. We're getting one at a time. Well, let me say peace to the chat. All friends and family. Even though there's a little, disillusioned gentleman who's sitting there in his Star Trek chair. That I know he's tight because there'll be no 2021 draft party this year. Okay, so wait for that 2040, homeboy, because it ain't happening. Okay, but anyway, fam, I just wanted to say, that today's game was really probably the best game they played for the season. You know what I mean? It was Julius Randle. Randle. He had like just an out of body experience for himself. You know what I mean? And the fellas is playing tight. They looking in unison. And let's get Drummond, and let's move from there.
What you giving up for Drummond?
You know what? I'm giving up something for him because I believe in this team. I believe this team can do something in the playoffs. I'm not being delusional. I'm not saying Eastern Conference Finals or whatever, but the way how we're playing defensively, the way how everyone is kind of coming together, we need a front court player. We need a center, an additional body. Would I not give up a first-round pick? I probably would.
If you can sign him, like what if he doesn't re-sign though?
If he doesn't re-sign, okay. It's a first-round pick that we wasted. Okay, fine. But if he does resign, that's a whole nother for the summer conversation. But for now, for this particular season, you never know. It may take us somewhere.
Where? That's what I want to know. Where? I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about Andre Drummond. I really do like Andre Drummond, right? I do. I like Andre Drummond a lot. I'm just trying to save my trade capital for that wing player that we know we need in that scoring, that other scoring threat that we need. That's what I'm trying to save that for, and I'm afraid you give a lot of it up on Andre Drummond when that player comes available. Now you're like, damn, what am I doing? How am I going to get? How am I going to get it?
Draft capital. Okay, but hear what I'm saying. You're a family man. Mm-hmm. You remember when your family was young and growing, and sometimes you just got into the car and took a drive.
Yep.
And everybody in the back going, Daddy, where we going?
Yep.
We going somewhere, right? And it probably made the evening or the weekend a whole lot better just because you were able to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. We haven't left the house in 7-8 years now.
Right. But you know what I did though? When I did that on the spur of the moment, we packed turkey and cheese sandwiches with chips. All right.
Sam, I still do that, man.
National Lampoon's Vacation.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody need a getaway. This could be our getaway.
I don't know.
And let's see what can happen.
But we could just sign him in the off season.
I mean, there's no doubt that he upgrades the team, and a nice upgrade. I just, I don't know how much it cost. How much it costs to get him. I guess that's the big thing right there. How much does it cost to get him? And if a team. And if a team like Toronto or whoever is looking to make a move for him, does somebody else come available that maybe we need a little bit more? Now, I know we need help at the center position for the next few weeks, right? I get that. But, does somebody else come available that we can say, hey, this guy really does impact us a little bit more? So, I guess in a couple of weeks, we'll see what happens. We got about a month and a half until the trade deadline gets here. I'm a big proponent if you're going to make a move to make it early, but of course, things don't always go down like that because other teams are looking at the trade deadline and, going to wait till the trade deadline. But we will see. We will see. It's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be a lot of things out there, man.
All I'm saying, it's a problem that we didn't have coming into this season. We weren't thinking like this, but
that's right.
Going forward, what's wrong with it? You know what I'm saying? Even if we waste a pick, and I'm not saying our picks are for wasting, but we're at a point right now that we could go forward and we could do something in the playoffs.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Knicks family.
No, I agree.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate it.
Y'all know what it is.
No doubt. All right, man. Appreciate you, bro. And my man Jack Peters asked me, do I have at least mayonnaise on them sandwiches? I mean, mayonnaise, or it might be turkey, cheese, and mustard, but, you know, when we took an impromptu trip, we wasn't going out to a whole bunch of restaurants all over the place. I tell you that. You know, we was preserving our trade capital. That's what we was doing. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Hey, what's going on, Steph?
What's going on with you, man?
First and foremost, I want to start off by saying that was a great win tonight. Knicks played together. I believe Derrick Rose is a big part of this new wave, this new energy that we have. I feel that he brings up the competition level of the other people and his professionalism as a veteran guard.
Yeah.
And I think also we should stay in pat. I don't think we should make a trade. We should definitely see what this team can do, then build upon it instead of just move pieces around.
Okay.
Build upon.
I really do think they're gonna add at least another center because, you know,
another center.
Yeah, I think so. You know, depending on everything that goes on with Mitch, you know, he might be out 4 to 6 weeks, and he's going to get reevaluated, I guess, tomorrow, and who knows what happens after there. I guess they'll figure out what happens after there, after he gets reevaluated. But, you know, just some of the little things that I'm seeing, I feel like eventually it might start to get exposed some when you start to play against some bigger teams.
Right.
You know, without Mitch being out there. So at least another backup center, a big guy.
Who do you have in mind? Like,
I don't know. You know, and I'm not talking about Andre Drummond, but I'm talking about somebody that can come in, give you minutes right now, and then go back to the bench when Mitch gets back.
Because I feel Noel and Kyle Gibson did a great job tonight. Just a combination of those two guys.
No, they're doing an okay job, but I just feel like you know, there's going to be some better centers come up that we might, you know, we'll see how it goes. You know, we're just gonna see how it goes. I just fear that, you know, we might be losing a little something inside. Well, we know we're losing something inside, but you know, if it really starts to get exploited and we're not able to win games because of it, then, you know, could be a problem. We'll see though. I don't know.
Fair point.
Yeah. We'll see. Hey, I appreciate the call, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Peace. And then Jack said, you know, the mustard is cool, but you got to get some mayo. I mean, I probably get some Miracle Whip. You know, I probably use Miracle Whip. Yeah, I like mayo on my subs, though. I like mayo on my subs. But if I'm just having a turkey and cheese sandwich, I like Miracle Whip or mustard. But anyway, I'm getting out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to do a shoot around tomorrow, but it's probably, I got to go to the dentist at 12, so I probably won't do it till about 2:30. All right, so
hey,
I'll be
Crow with you.
Yeah, I'll be yeah, right. Hey, yeah, Tony, you can come with me, man, if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You can come with me if you want to. You know, but so I'll probably do it about 2:30 or something like that. You know, so just look out for the notification. I'll go around. You guys want to do 30-second last words, and we can get up out of here. Gary, I'm going to start with you. Oh, we can't hear you, man. I think you got your...
Julius Randle. Julius Randle had a really... You hear me? Julius Randle, great game. You know, he's fighting for that all-star spot, man. I got to give him credit. He was excellent on offense tonight. You know, RJ Barrett, again, hit some big shots. Had a revival game somewhat, you know, 3 threes tonight. I believe he was 8 for 14, 15, whatever he was. But those 2 big threes he hit in the corner. I mean, maturation that, you know, everybody's, you know, RJ Barrett this, RJ Barrett that. And he came alive today. the game they actually needed him to do. Noel, I thought, had really good defense. Him and Taj Gibson giving credit for fighting with the fouls that they had early on. They didn't, and they defended the refs. They had to defend also against the refs. They did a really good job. So overall, good win by the Knicks, man. Just looking forward to how they respond to the Magic. Make it 4 in a row. You know what I mean? Don't play down. Not say they're better than anybody, but try to play above the competition. Just keep doing that. But Tom Thibodeau, I don't know if he's going to be coach of the year, but if the Knicks get into the playoffs, he might be. Hey,
yeah, he's definitely, making himself a candidate. I got killed the other day because I asked the question, oh, it's too soon. Why is it too soon to ask if he's a candidate? But anyway, I think he's definitely going to at least be a candidate,
If the Knicks end up with
if they make the playoffs.
The Celtics are 13-13.
Mm-hmm.
If the Knicks ended up with if they ended up with the 4th seed, if they stuck in the Nets somehow mess up and the Knicks end up with a 3rd seed after what happened last year and all these previous years,
that'd be crazy. Come on.
And with largely the same team outside of Quickley, who's doing better than Obi, who was the 8th pick, and then I don't want to say washed up, but obviously an older Derrick Rose. And this team is one of the worst scoring teams in the NBA. How's that not a coach of the year candidate?
Exactly.
At the very least. So.
At the very least, right? Divine.
Oh man, I'm looking for one thing I haven't seen in the last 3 or 4 games is Alec Burks. We playing basketball winning without Alec Burks even giving us buckets. You know what I mean? That's why I think the Knicks is legit. If that boy if Alec Burks can find his rhythm back, give us that man, Knicks gonna be a problem, bro. He ain't even been playing good. And RJ had a couple of bad games and we still balling. So I just think that if Alec Burks can get back into his groove, Knicks go win this game in Orlando, you know what I mean, and then go home for 5 home games. Knicks could easily be almost 19 of 15, 16 by the end of next week, you know what I mean? So let's hope it go out that way, man. But I would like to see Alex Burks get his groove back though.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow Boston plays. They play the Nuggets, and if they lose that game. They lose that game tomorrow versus the Nuggets. Indiana will move up to the 4th seed, and we'll move up to the 5th seed.
Wow!
Because we have more wins than Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then other teams that play tomorrow, Toronto, they play Milwaukee. Even if they get that win, they wouldn't have more wins than us, so we'd still be ahead of them. And then you have, and Charlotte is not playing tomorrow. Right, so temporarily we could move up to that 5th seed tomorrow. Brooklyn, they play the Suns. It's a good chance that they lose tomorrow night. They could win, obviously, but they could lose that game too. Or we're not moving up to the 3rd seed, but still, it keeps everybody tight. And there's a good chance we move into that 5th seed tomorrow. And then we beat Orlando, and we're 500.
4th seed it is.
Yeah, Steph.
Yeah, the Knicks are legit. Tibbs is legit. Like Josh said, we one good player away from, really solidifying ourselves as a playoff team pretty much every year. And I think that the way we've been playing this year gets the front office to thinking about making those moves. Maybe they wouldn't even be thinking so much about it if we was 4 and something. But being where we are now, them seeing how Randle has developed, the team around them, I think they start to think about what else can we do and maybe move things a little quicker. I trust this front office. They're not going to do anything stupid. If they do trade a Obi or Quickley, you could best believe it's for somebody that's worth it. They're not going to just give those players away. So I like where the Knicks are right now. And yeah, a few more wins, we could be in 4th, 5th place, not even worrying about the play-in. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Tony?
Yes. I had a couple of different arguments with some people in various different chats talking about, where we were record-wise and not respecting it. As I continue to say, the defense was carrying us. And, all I could hear in response was, we're not at 500 or we don't have a winning record. But the fact that the defense has been carrying us, you got to respect that. We were on pace for a way better record than last year. And now we're starting to see the offense catch up. You know what I mean? The defense is not taking a hit and the offense is catching up. And we have yet to see a full, complete, performance from everybody on the team at the same time. So, Burks had a couple bad games, RJ the two previous from today. So, when everything gets clicking, man, we're gonna be a dangerous team, man. And I can't wait. I can't wait till we hit our full stride and see exactly where we are. But that's all I wanted to say. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the panel. Your Blackest Time. Son, as always, keep doing your thing.
Appreciate you, man. Josh?
Everyone pretty much hit everything on the head. I mean, tonight or like the last, 3 games, we scored over 120. And I think that's the impact that Rose had on that bench. If the Knicks, I feel like if they can get up to 110 points, this team is dangerous, very, very dangerous in the regular season. And I think this team is going to be a playoff team just by the way they're playing defense alone. And we know we can get, sometimes we can score a lot of points. Sometimes we can score a lot of points. So if they can continue to keep this up, I think we'll be fine going into the playoffs. Now, when we get into playoffs, that's a different story. That's when we got to find out who's going to be that second guy. But as of right now, everything is going pretty good.
Yeah. Prince.
Hey man, salute the chat, salute the panel. Before we get up out of here, run up them likes. But again, as you see, this Knicks team is for real. Can't wait to when we play Orlando, Sim. We got them
Wednesday. We play them on Wednesday.
So we got a day off. Okay, so tomorrow shoot around at 2. Definitely be ready, man. I don't know if the Westchester had a game today. Again, if we got one tomorrow, definitely be looking forward to the Westchester Knicks affiliate. Your boy, the Prince. But hey, y'all, look forward to y'all. Always love the Pie Father. Hey, great show again, man. Hopefully these wins just keep racking up, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And Chop, are you there? I don't know. There you go.
That was a good upload.
In tribute.
I guess he ain't there. Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. And we're going to head out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you check us out. Look for that notification for the shoot around tomorrow, about 2:30. And, yeah, we should be good, ladies and gentlemen. Nice win by the Knicks. Time to go get this 4th in a row. Even up the record. Let's make it 14-14. Get to 500. It's going to be beautiful, man. Spread love, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here.